For a flag bearer. 10 people have put themselves up for the role. Helen has the list of people who have put themselves up the role. There's been some communication also from the party's committee on presidential elections. And a brand new press release from Alan Kojo Tremanting John. The era of the John, or the era of the Johns has ended. With the coming in of William Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. William.
Like, after the Johns, the William.
The will, no will. Yes, the will didn't will.
That's why we need
John
some Helens
William.
there.
So let's say John William Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
If you combine the two, dear, it will have.
From the beginning of the
1993,
First Republic,
yes. John
William,
Jerry John
friend,
Rawlings.
My namesake came and Charlie. The willpower has been very, very weak. Maybe next election, another John will win.
So
I see two Johns going. That's my position.
So John Alan Kojo Tremanting.
Oh yes, I mean
is who you see.
Yes, from the analysis that's
Oh.
Because you see, in 2008, Nana Akufo-Addo didn't get the 50+1.
No, he didn't. He didn't
He
get
made
it.
48.
Yes.
And they came together and said, look, Nana, you move for it to their call. But we know that President Akufo was pushing for Alan.
Right.
And so this time, Nana Akufo-Addo knows that the trend that he benefited from, he can't shift it. He can't.
Okay.
No, he can't. He can't.
That definitely makes the conversation more
The facts are there. If you
interesting.
check their own party,
Yeah.
and if you listen to the big boys in the party, they will tell you that
Concessions
there's no
were
way
made for somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
48% from 50+1. That was according
When
to
I
their
sat
own
down
constitution.
with Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, who is a founding member of the party, he said that he, former IGP, former National Security Coordinator Francis Poku, and some other people, they were the ones who stepped in to do that negotiation. He mentioned that.
Yes.
And then Nanado was advised to behave in a certain manner. That's why he has been speaking, that the agreement they had with him, for him to conduct himself in a certain way, if he ever gets power, he is not going by that direction. It looks like everything is just passing under him, around him, over him. And that's why Nyaho Tamaklo is not happy.
Of course. I mean, some of these things, it's an open secret. Some people in the party, some big wigs actually literally fought President Akufo.
Right.
When he tried to, shepherd Alan to take over. And they said, look, Master, Akufo-Addo and you yourself, you've been struggling and contesting. So this new man, Alan, that has come, allow Nana to go. Because Nana to came and say, that's why he said, because he knows that he's been pushing for this flag bearership from Titi. So in 2008, when the decision was taken, a president had been set that if that Alan and his team have also been saying that Edumiso, and the Edumiso is not in a vacuum. They know what they are talking about.
Okay, Noble Crosby Annan is joining us. He's been on this beat following the activities at the NPP headquarters. Crosby, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Now, I know that you have been following this over the past few weeks. First, give us a list of the 10 who have put themselves up for the flag bearership, and then we can get into the nitty-gritties.
Johnny, you know that when the New Patriotic Party opened nominations for its presidential aspirants, 11 people picked up the nomination forms to contest the ticket tax flag bearer of the party. And when the 11 went through the process, that was for picking the nominations. They had about a few weeks to submit the nomination that came with about half a million cedis, 500,000 Ghana cedis. So the aspirants submitted the nomination forms, and it was at that point that we got to know that it is 10 of them who submitted their nominations against the 11 of them who picked up their nomination forms. The only person who could not submit his nomination forms was one Nana Odineho Apia. he was the candidate who did not submit his nomination. So all 10 of them in no particular order. There's Dr. Bawumia, there's Agyapong, there's Dr. Kofi Kunedwa-Preku, Francis Adainimo, Agyapong was the former General Secretary of the party. There's a former Greek minister, Dr. Usuefi Akoto. There's one, Kojo Puku, who is an energy analyst, Joe Gate, former minister. There's also Alan Chemanting, the former trade minister, and then Kennedy Agyapong. So these are the 10 people who were able to submit their nomination forms. After the submission of the nomination forms, a date was set for the vetting process. Now, the vetting, according to a lot of people, was expected to, if you like, reduce the numbers even before a certain special delegate Congress that will seek to trim the numbers down from 10 to 5. You know what happened in the party after the J. Kufuor administration, where about 17 aspirants wanted to be flag bearer of the party. That, as the campaign went on, the back and forth, that generated a lot of heat in the party, a lot of bickering here and there, and a lot of dissatisfaction within the party. So the party thought it wise to, in the future, if there are more than 5 aspirants, it should be pruned down to 5 through a certain special delegate conference. And that special delegate conference will see about 900 delegates of the party. We call them, or choosing to call them, the super delegates, and that is made up of former ministers, current ministers, members of parliament, some particular elected delegates of the party, and they will decide on which of the numerous aspirants will make it to the next stage of the process, which will have their faces on the ballot paper to be elected. Although the vetting went on, the party was not able to reduce the number from 10 to any number because they thought that all 10 of the aspirants were duly qualified to lead the party and, in effect, lead the country if the NPP wins the 2024 election. So all 10 of them made it to through the vetting process. And after that happened, Johnny, the campaign of the various aspirants began in full force. All 10 of the aspirants hitting the various regions, campaigning vigorously to sell their message to their candidates, to their delegates, to their supporters, to their grassroots, from the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, Alan Chemanting, all of them hitting various regions, crisscrossing the country, trumpeting their messages. And there were concerns over that the party or the system was favoring one candidate. And it is an open secret that almost all the aspirants, about 9 of them, were thinking that one candidate in the person of the vice president was being favored by the political party itself or the party systems. Well, the party has come out on several occasions to deny those allegations that there's no favoritism anywhere, and the level playing field is fair. Indeed, during the submission of the nomination forms, one of the aspirants, Chairman Agyapong, raised question over a lack of a level playing field. That was dismissed by the party, that nothing of that sort was happening. So campaigning is ongoing. They're selling their messages and all of that.
Crosby, when is this special or super delegates conference supposed to happen?
So, Johnny, the special delegates conference is expected to happen on August 26th.
Right.
That is a day less of a month from now.
Why is today important in all of the conversations about the flag bearer, contest for the 10 that you mentioned?
Could you say that again, please?
Why is today important? Because it looks like the conversations are ongoing. Yesterday, there were some correspondences from the Presidential Elections Committee from the party. It gives a signal that today is important. I'm asking why.
Right. So, Johnny, you know that yesterday was when the balloting process happened for the aspirants to choose their various positions as to how they would appear on the ballot paper of the NPP for the super delegates conference. Now, the reason why today is important is that the party indicated that the aspirants, all 10 of them, will have access to a photo album of the super delegates, of all the 900 delegates who would vote in the, it's now a decentralized election, who vote in all the 16 regional headquarters of the party. So the aspirants now have to present their electronic devices, their pen drives, their whichever storage device they want to present to, get the pictures or the names and the details of all the 900 aspirants. So that is what is happening today. Although the party said it will be made available yesterday, interacting with the spokesperson of the election committee, Aspirants Marking, yesterday indicated that it is available, and that it was also corroborated by Engineer Agyapong that the party said it was available, so they could come anytime, any day, to have access to the album of the Super Delegates conference. The balloting is done, and this is how the order will be on the ballot paper for the Super Delegates conference.
Right.
We have Kennedy Agyapong, who picked the number 1 position. He's followed by Alan Tremanti, who picked the number 2 position. Jogati was number 3. Kujo Zafapuku number 4. Dr. Uswe Friakutu number 5. Kwabneje Agyapong number 6. Francis Adainimo number 7. Dr. Kofi Kunedwe number 8, Boachicha Mantijako is number 9, and Dr. Bawumia picked the number 10 position. And John, you know that in the country's political space, numbers play a very crucial role, whether it is real or it is perceived. So already, the aspirants and their fans are beginning to put various spins and interpretations as to how they appear on the number. From the one who picked the number 1 position, his fans are saying that it means he's going to emerge as the winner, he's going to emerge as the first. We've seen also supporters of Dr. Bawumia singing the Fanaform song. They're also saying, I see how just like former President John Agyapong Kufuor told his supporters during the voting time. A lot of spins, a lot of interpretations as to the positioning of the aspirants on the ballot paper.
Interesting. Now, you tell me, so this delegates conference or super delegates conference is hoping to trim the number down to 5. What indications have you been picking? Because it does appear that some of the candidates appear stronger than the others who are contesting for the same slot. What indication have you been picking around the conversations? Who is likely to be in the top 5?
So, Johnny, let's take this from the desire of the 9 aspirants, with the exception of Dr. Bawumia, to have a centralized voting system for the Super Delegates Conference. So the desire of the 9 was that let's bring all the 900 aspirants to one location, one place, and then would vote to select all the 5, because they think that it will be cost effective for the party. It would give them access to all the 900 delegates. And then, because they were picking some signs of a lack of a level playing field, some signs of some compromised executives of the party, or some levels of favoritism for one candidate, they decided that it's their desire to have a centralized election to select the 5. That did not happen. In a meeting of the National Executive Council of the party, the National Council, they decided that it will still be decentralized. So that has, if you like, dimmed a lot of their hopes. But speaking to some political analysts and pollsters, almost all opinion polls are putting 3 candidates at the top. In no particular order, they're saying that Kennedy Agyapong will be part of the first 5. We're also seeing Dr. Bawumia part of the first 5, and then Alan Tremanti part of the first 5. The indications now come up to who will be the other 2 to join the 3 to make up the first 5. Remember that it is now not centralized again. So engaging with the experts and the works they have done concerning the NPP general elections, the names they are picking, although they vary, some are picking that the former Greek minister, Dr. Uswe Friakutu, is likely to make it as part of the first 5. The reason they're giving is that based on the set of people who are voting in this Super Delegates Conference, remember that the voting will be done by present ministers, former ministers who have NPP cards, members of parliament and all of that. So Dr. Friakutu, the expectation is that he made some friends when he was in government. Remember, he's been a Greek minister for quite a while.
That's right.
So he's made some friends in the NPP, in parliament, in top decision-making arenas of the party. So those 900, he has people there who will vote for him. Another name also being mentioned is that of Jogati, also based on some similar reasons, that he has been in good standing with the party. So it is expected that he will be there. For Kwabneje Agyapong, because he, if you like, fell off from the party sometime the decision or what the experts, the analysts are telling us is that would affect his chances to be part of the first five. Same reason applies to Boachi Tremantin Jacob. With some falling off from the party in his time when he was energy minister, that would also is expected to likely affect him. For Dr. Kofi Konadu Apreku, the reasons they're giving is that he does not have any links anywhere in the party in the 900, so he's not expected to be there. Also, Kojo Poku, a relatively new face, so there's no indications that he will be there. So the other name they're mentioning is Francis Adainimo, and that is also because he has left the party for quite a while. Although he keeps appearing a number of times to leave the party, he has not, imposed himself in a certain light that makes him indispensable. So these are the five names that they are considering: Kennedy Agyapong, Alan Tremantin, Dr. Bawumia, Owusu Kuto, and then Joe Gatti. But of course, this is likely to change at any time because delegates are so very unpredictable, even on the last minute of the voting day.
Fear delegates, Sir John said. And that's where we end the conversation. No more Crosby, and thank you very much indeed for your time this morning and the updates.
Thank you, John.
Great. 8:37 is the time. I'm sure Helen at this point has the correspondences. Let's begin with Alan Kojo Tremantin. What has he been saying? He's called off his campaign, so that's what will happen.
All right, let's get into that statement and... So it is dated the 27th of July. Media release: rescheduling of Ashanti Regional Constituency Cluster Derbers. The Alan for President A4P campaign has rescheduled its planned tour of the Ashanti region, initially scheduled for Friday 28th July 2023 to Thursday 3rd August 2023. The Ashanti Regional Constituency Cluster Derbers have been moved forward, now starting Monday 7th August and ending Saturday 12th August 2023. The change is to accommodate sensitive government and parliamentary business due within the same period. And this is signed by Honorable Yao Boabena Samoa, Esquire, spokesperson and director of communications, A4P campaign.
Okay. And what is the party itself saying?
Okay, so there's two updates there. Update on special electoral college election roadmap. It's a short one here. Now, on Wednesday, July 26, 2023, the Presidential Elections Committee of the New Patriotic Party conducted productive engagements with the aspiring candidates on the party's presidential primaries regarding the upcoming National Congress. Out of 10 candidates, 7 of them attended in person, and accredited agents duly represented the other 3. The meeting took place at the party headquarters in Asylum Down. The discussions primarily focused on the arrangements for the Special Electoral College scheduled to take place on Saturday, August 26, 2023. During these discussions, the candidates and the Elections Committee reached a consensus on the modalities for the conduct of the Special Electoral College. As part of the engagement process, the Elections Committee, in collaboration with officials from the Electoral Commission of Ghana, successfully conducted a balloting exercise for the candidates. Below is the order in which the candidates appear, as we now know. We are aware of that. Okay. Signed by the Secretary, Presidential Elections Committee.
Great. That's the update from the New Patriotic Party. But what do the citizens think? 8:40 is the time. Let's hear from the voices on the street, shall we? Well, Alexander Kwame Nafenyo Marking, I'm told, is the spokesperson for the committee. Hear him.
Alan John Kojo Tremantin, number 2. Joe Gatti, number 3. Kwejo Poku, number 4. Dr. Owusu Kuto, number 5. Kwabna Agyapong, number 6. Francis Adainimo, number 7. Dr. Kofi Konadu Apreku, number 8. Boachi Tremantin Ejako, number 9. His Excellency Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, number 10. So this is the order that the aspirants will appear on the ballot paper from 1 to 10. So it's been signed by the vice chair of the committee and Electoral Commission Director of Operations. I must say that the balloting was successful. We did a first round of balloting where the aspirants picked the order in which they will pick their positions. So the ballot papers went round. In fact, they picked them randomly themselves. And then when we were able to determine the order in which they were going to pick their positions and they were satisfied, we rolled out the second phase of the process, which now allowed those who
3FM Sunrise.
All right. What I'm saying is this: that as part of the processes, aspirants will be furnished with the album. I said so, and I'm sure I was very clear. Therefore, let's take one step at a time. Today, we have done the balloting. It's been very successful. All of them are happy. We've built consensus on the guidelines, and we are going to move on accordingly. So fear not, worry not. Let's take one at a time. Thank you very much indeed. But I think 7. Honorable Jogati was also represented. So we had 7 out of the 10 aspirants present. And we had our engagement, and we deliberated on few matters that were of concern. We were able to build consensus on the nagging issues and incorporated same in the guidelines. We've agreed that the Electoral Commission is going to take charge of the elections and see to all the security arrangements as well.
3FM Sunrise.
Party agent of the aspirant will also oversee to the printing of the ballot papers. So the ballot papers won't be printed by the party. It will be printed by the Electoral Commission. And all that we would do is to furnish them with the details of the aspirants, including their pictures. We've given them the type of picture they are supposed to bring. So everything has been agreed upon. The notice of polls would be put out. Proxy has been agreed upon. There's going to be proxy, and notice will be issued, and deadline for all proxies will be on the 2nd. And all proxy lists will be furnished the aspirants. We also agreed to ensure that the list of delegates, the album in this case, will also be furnished the aspirants. Now, let me inform you the order that the aspirant will appear on the ballot.
And the Electoral Commission is in control of the process, and everything is going on.
Do you have the photo album yet?
Not yet, but they've told us that we can come and receive it from tomorrow. It's available. We bring our pen drives, we can pick it. So,
are you satisfied with the engagement with the elections committee?
Very, very satisfied.
What was your number on the ballot?
You want me to show it to you?
What was your number on the
Number
ballot?
6.
Number 6. What does that mean to you?
It means I'm going to win.
And those were the voices of Alexander Marking, his member of parliament for the Futu constituency. He's also the deputy majority leader in parliament, and then also the spokesperson for the presidential elections committee, which just told you what they have up their sleeves. And the voice you heard just when we got in, that of engineer Kwabena Agyapong. He's a former general secretary of the party, former spokesperson for Kufuor's campaign. He is also in the race, hopefully to win it as the presidential aspirant and become the presidential candidate on the ticket of the NPP. Here's Alan Kojo Tremanting 8 years ago. Listen to him.
My brothers and sisters of the great NPP, at long last, the battle is over. and the struggle to take over power from the NDC in 2016 with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as president has now begun. I wish to use this opportunity to congratulate my elder brother Akufo-Addo for the overwhelming endorsement by the party. I'd like to use this same opportunity to pledge my full support that of my team for the task ahead of us as a party. I would also like to use the opportunity to congratulate my friend Francis Adainimo for a hard-fought battle. Brothers and sisters, in our party, we believe in competition and after that, cooperation.
3FM 92.7, Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
That was Alan Kojo Tremantin after that election has been fought and won by candidate Akufo-Addo. This was 8 years ago when we're looking for a flag bearer just around this time for the New Patriotic Party. He congratulated his big brother, and then he also said after the competition there's cooperation. Will we see same after this? Well, here's the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. About a year ago, before His Royal Majesty Otumfuo II, he was there with three of the individuals who want to be president. As somebody says, giddy, 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 giddy. Listen to him.
Commissioner, regional minister, Minister of Transport, or here airport, known as Furesia Madinchani, and Waba, so on the bar. Now, Omano Bakwa Yapijan and Omobia so Andrew Francis Asensu Wache, Minister for Works and Housing. And your boss, National Security boss. One day now and then, not so much. And so, the House also regional chairman, famous chairman one, won't to me. Now, Ujame, who's so free, food and agriculture minister, says so now, or the person will be the president. Minister. And pay you for about Papa, only your pay president in Minister of Trade and Industry, your bedroom up, when you know a moment.
That's the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. She rado. Helen.
Very interesting.
William has made his choice. He said he sees another John going. Do you see another John based on the trends?
Okay, well, you see.
What do you see?
Thankfully, I have both of you here, and you are given what we call, institutional memory. So you can help us with this very important juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of us are new school, we're new to the terrain.
It's okay, you'll be fine.
And so from where I'm sitting, with all of the noise and hula baloo around the vice president, if you are not aware of this trend, this Edrum is so if you will, open secrets. You might be leaning towards the vice president without knowing that there are some inner workings that might come to slight tackle him. But he is forging full steam ahead without an umbrella, with leather shoes on in the rain, valiant and headstrong, heading toward one final destination. Absolutely. Is that going to be the case?
Well, let us wait and see.
Well, Very interesting.
Let us wait.
Very, very, very interesting indeed. He's not going to give up without a fight. I say fight metaphorically. I don't mean blows. We don't want any of that, even in this instance. But those from the camp of Dr. Bawumia says, well, he's been working hard. He's on the receiving end of a lot of the backlash that is coming the NPP's way. Is his reward for absorbing some of these metaphorical blows going to be him being the flag bearer?
Let's see how
he's been walking in the rain without an umbrella. What does the party say about that?
In a fugu.
In a fugu.
Fugu plus.
In a fugu. No Wellington boots. What does the party think of that?
Shoes.
Leather shoe.
Hey. But, well, I mean, apart from the two, I also see Comrade Agyapong coming because from his submissions throughout the campaign period now, he appears to be somebody who is realistic in his thinking and his submission. He's not too partisan, emotional. He looks at the things that Ghanaians need.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the title of his campaign, he says A New Dawn. So I'll put him as part of the five.
So Alan is 1 for you, Kwabena Agyapong is 2 for you.
Then, of course, Vice President
Dr. Bawumia
will come.
Okay.
That's out.
3.
Then we'll add Akompreko. Definitely he'll be there. I mean,
well, you say that, but I don't know whether he'll be there.
He'll be there because all the polls that have come recently they've had him in there.
The reason why I might count him out, William, is because of the directive that was issued by the party for candidates to be measured moving forward in their advances. I don't know whether he'll be able to contain himself. He's a very passionate individual. Yes. I don't know. Can he hold himself till then?
But the delegates, he's been speaking to the delegates, and the experts go to the delegates. They interview them, and he's always in the top 5. In fact, he's been number 3 always.
Yeah.
So
in fact, even Ben Efsim puts him ahead of
that is the point I'm making. I cannot sit
his
here
latest poll
and discount all
around
the results that have
period.
come in the poll so far. So the 4.
And then last one, Adanimo.
Kojo Poku is out.
Oh, why did
as for Bodie 3-2 is out?
But Kojo Poku has potential.
Kojo Poku potential. That's potential for the future.
He believes that he represents the youth.
The youth don't even know him.
Are you sure?
They're not familiar. Just check it out.
He says he's the only candidate who has gone around the whole country.
That is what he says. But I'm saying step out here and ask the youth whether they know him.
Kojo Poku.
Masa. I mean, I'm being realistic this morning.
Okay.
So 4. The fifth one. Jogate can come.
Jogate too has been in that race for a long time.
Adanimo can come.
Jogate, Adanimo, they have been at this for a long time with Alan.
As for Dr. Apreku.
No.
He's tired.
Yeah, he looks tired.
Yes, he should stay in the ECOWAS there. Not Apreku. No.
We must be honest enough to admit that the Akufo-Addo government, despite chalking successes in road and health infrastructure, tourism, and of course education, it has struggled to deliver on a number of fronts. We started out saying that we're breaking dependency on the Western donor agencies. The slogan, Ghana Beyond Aid, rang from the Jubilee House with intensity and vigor. But today, we lie on a stretcher before the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and Ghana has become, in the eyes of many, a case study of how not to do it. It is true that the international climate has been hostile, but how many countries have had inflation skyrocket to 54%? And in fact, food inflation hitting the roof. And our city only just slightly recovering after a wild tailspin last year. These are stark signals of economic distress, and we cannot hide these facts. We've had to endure a painful debt exchange program with our pensioners laying siege at the finance ministry. Our party, the NPP, cannot afford to put forward those who led us to this state. I want to repeat myself. Our party, the NPP, therefore, cannot afford to put forward those who led us to this state and expect Ghanaians to embrace them during the 2024 election. We need a new face, a pair of clean hands, a leader to reconnect with our base and earn the trust of Ghanaians.